Alright, what's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. And it is an episode on my intermediate achievement journey, and for today's video we'll be going through the achievement I believe I can fly, which is defeating an RPV 7 or above by not using any ground units at all. Yeah, so this is my deck and I decided to play Pure Frost to enable myself to just be exposed to some of the cards that I don't use throughout the game. There will be some instances where I made a couple of mistakes, and I thought that I should have added some cards, which I will also elaborate later on. I'm playing the map of the month, which is map of the month for April 2023. A disclaimer is that this is my first time running this map, the map of the month for April 2023. This is my first time creating that without any ground units. So basically these ice barriers is just sort of a testing ground to see where the units are at. And because the ice barriers vision didn't overlook the initial enemy units, that's why I assume that's why the camp at the bottom didn't spawn any more fire units. Yes, so in that case my defense towers weren't very useful at the start, but because I know that the longer passageway leads to the ops and the power well, so I built some of my buildings towards that direction. Some defense towers, the warden sigil, of course the construction hut, which I should have built earlier to save power costs. Yes, and here it is, more of these defense towers. A little bit annoying because the Sunstriders can use the ability suppression, which prevents my defense tower from attacking. So of course I got my warden sigil, can just grant ice shield at certain periods so that my defense tower won't be destroyed easily. Yeah, and basically my ice barrier is my ground presence to obtain the power wells. Yep, and now it's second op. Once you reach second op, it's a lot easier because you will have flying units. And for my flying units, I will have the War Eagle and the Sky Elf Templar. Basically, the Sky Elf Templar is just a unit that attacks air units, because War Eagles can only attack ground units. So if there's any like magma spore or anything, I would use the Sky Elf Templar. And what is good about War Eagles is that they deal really good damage. Of course, area ice shield to prevent my War Eagles from dying, and again ice barrier as a form of ground presence. Yes, now that I've reached the third monument, it will even be a easier breeze to run the map because I will have access to the Northland Drake. And from the buff, Northland Drakes really are very strong now. Even though their power cost is the same as the Giant Rimf, which costs 300 power. But I think their damage wise, it got better. Yep, the Northland Drakes, and of course ice barrier so that I can link all the way the ground presence to my fourth monument, the War of the North, to reduce damage taken from my units. Alright, next up is to get my fourth orb, but I would require more power. And of course the annoying thing is attracting all of these units. So one thing I should have done is to have Cold Snap. And of course forgot to mention again at the beginning, to make your life a lot easier, you can include the card Glyph of Frost to freeze enemy units. I thought I wouldn't need for any freezing spells because well, you don't have any ground units, so where do you get ground presence? But that's only for the case of running the map, which only happens in tier 4. So it would be good to have some control spells for tier 1 and tier 2. The Northland Drake, the War of the North as well. I will just need my tier 4 Frost so that I can get the Battleship, which combined with some of the ice shielding abilities can run the map pretty quickly, similar to the Lost Spirit Ship. Some cannon tower just to tank the damage and so that my power wells won't be destroyed, and tank some damage for my orb as well. Yeah, Battleship. Wait for more power so I can summon more units. The Virtuoso really has insane amount of damage because of the ability to structures.
Your forces are under attack.
And yes, we want to get rid of this camp quickly because it's just too close to my base, and all these units that spawn keeps attacking my monument, and I don't want that to happen, and I don't want to lose my monument. Alright, got 2 battleships now. I think 2 battleships and 2 Northland Drakes. Oh, 3 battleships. Makes life easier. And yes, my code of protection. And I have Ice Edge as well. If you can see at the top left, this is the Green Affinity Ice Edge, which acts something like a regrowth on ice shields. Yeah, and since we have all these battleships, the tier 4 units, running the map is a lot easier. And of course, just keep a lookout for your 4th orb. If you need any help to kill off the units, you can just summon whatever flying units that you have. Yeah, I can see it's pretty invincible because Frost units generally are pretty tanky. If you see Battleship, 5.5k health, not that easy to destroy, and also with the ice shield, which absorbs about 2,500. Yes, 2,500 damage. Yes, and of course I use the barrage to kill off the boss a lot quicker. It's the strongest ground attack that Battleship has. And yes, this is it. It's a really easy game to play, even without any ground units at all. So this is how I got the achievement, I believe I can fly. And I also believe that I finished most of the intermediate challenges. The remaining ones are sort of like complete all the original maps on advanced difficulty or higher only by using Twilight Edition cards. And I don't think I will showcase all of the maps. So soon I'll be moving on to play the veteran achievements, and I hope you guys will be excited for those harder achievements and more of my gameplays and strategies as well. And of course, I'll see you guys again really soon.